Paramahansa Parivrajaka Astaterasat Shri Shiman Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Jayam Vishnupad Paramahansa Parivrajaka Astaterasat Shri Shiman Srila Bhakti Rakak Sri Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Srimati Tulsi Devi Ki Jai. Om Vishnupad Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai. Welcome to Sri Chaitanya SCSMission morning class. Dandavat. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Chaitanya Padakamalam Shri Gurung Vaishnavangscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vitang Stam Sajivam Sadvetam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Vitangscha Om Agyana Timirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Excuse me. Excuse me. I just realized the time, and this morning is a very short window for Puran, and I hadn't taken any grains yet, so I just took something. But yeah, just on time. It's between 7 and 8, like 8:03 or something like that, here in Salt Lake City at least. Haribol. Hare Krishna. I don't remember where I was in the Vandana, but Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Svapadantikam. Haribol. So we're continuing to read chapter, we're going to begin chapter 6 now in the Sri Navadvip Mahatmya by Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Haribol. This is on page 129 of this book, if anyone has it. Jai Srila Satchidananda Bhaktivinoda Thakur Ki Jai, Sri Rupanuga Guru Varga Ki Jai, and always Srimati Tulsi Devi Ki Jai. Hare Krishna. Okay, chapter 6, visiting Sri Ganganagar, Sri Pritukund, Sri Simantadweep, Sri Vishramstan, and other places. Jai Jai Sri Chaitanya Satchidanandana, Jaya Nityananda Prabhu Janava Jivana. All glories to the son of Sachi, Sri Chaitanya. All glories to the life of Janava Nityananda Prabhu. Jaya Jaya Sitanath, Jaya Garadhara, Jaya Srivasadi Gaura Parikara. All glories to the Lord of Sita Devi, Advaita Acharya. All glories to Gadadhar, Srivas, and all the Lord's associates. Paradina Prate Prabhu Nityananda Rai, Srivasa Sri Jivalaye Griha Bahirai. The next day in the morning, Nityananda Prabhu left the temple with Srivas and Sri Jiva. Very lovely. Shange Chale Ramadas Adi Bhakta Gana Jaite Jaite Kare Gaura Sankirtana. Ramdas and other devotees accompanied them, and they chanted the name of Gaura as they walked. Antadvipa Prante Prabhu Aila Yakana. Sri Ganga Nagara Jive Dekaya Takana. When the Lord came to the boundary of Antardvip, he showed Sri Ganga Nagar to Jiva. Prabhu Bale Shuna Jiva, E Ganga Nagara, Stapilena Bhagirata Raghuvangshadhara. Nityananda Prabhu said, listen, Jiva, this is Ganga Nagar. It was established by Maharaj Bhagirat, a forefather of Lord Ramachandra. Jabe Ganga Bhagirati Aila Chaliya Bhagirata Jai Age Shankha Bhajaya. When the Ganga, who is also known as Bhagirati, came here, Maharaj Bhagirat went ahead of her, blowing a conch. Nabadvipa Dame Ashi Ganga Haya Stira Bhagirata Deke Ganga Nahaya Bahira. Arriving in Navadvip Dham, the Ganga stopped, and Maharaj Bhagirat saw that she would not proceed. Bhayete Vivalahaya Raja Bhagirata Gangara Nikate Aila Pirikata Pata. Overwhelmed with fear, Maharaj Bhagirat retraced his course and came before Ganga. He's running ahead, but then he saw she's not behind. And he's overwhelmed with fear because there is some purpose in the Ganga coming. Ganga Nagarete Vashi Tapa Arambila Tape Tushtahaye Ganga Shaksha Haila. He stayed in Ganga Nagar and began to perform austerities. Pleased by them, Ganga personally appeared before him. Bhagirata Bale Mata Tumi Nahi Gele Pitriloka Udarana Habe Konakale. Maharaj Bhagirat said, O mother, if you do not continue, my ancestors will never be delivered. Ganga Bale Shunavacha Bhagirata Bira Kichudina Tumi Heta Hayeta Kastira. Ganga said, listen, my child, O heroic Bhagirat, peacefully stay here for some time. Magamashe Ashiachi Nabadvipadame Palgunera Sheshe Jaba Tavapitrikrame Kame. We have come to Navadvip Dham in the month of Magh. At the end of Palgun, I will deliver your ancestors. Jahara Charana Jala Ami Bhagirata Tara Nicha Dame Mora Pure Manorata. O Bhagirat, I am the water that washes the feet of the Lord. Here in his abode, I will first fulfill my own desires. Palguna Purnima Titi Prabhu Janmadina Saidina Mama Vrata Ache Samichina. The full moon day in Palgun is the birthday of the Lord, and I should perform a rite on that day. Seivrata Ujjapana Kariya Nishchai Chaliba Tomara Shange Na Kari Habai. I will complete this rite, and then certainly I will go with you. Do not be afraid. E Ganga Nagare Raja Raghu Kulapati Palguna Purnima Dine Karila Bashati. Maharaj Bhagirat resided in Ganga Nagar until the full moon day in Palgun. Jai Jana Shri Palguna Purnima Divase Ganga Snan Kari Ganga Nagare Te Base Shri Gauranga Puja Kare Upavasa Kari Purva Purushera Sahaseyayatari. Anyone who stays in Ganga Nagar on the full moon day in Palgun bathes in the Ganga, fasts and worships Sri Gauranga, crosses over material existence, as do their ancestors. Sahasha Purusha Purva Ganga Sange Kari Shri Goloka Praptahai Jata Tata Mari. Along with 1,000 of their ancestors, they attained Sri Goloka regardless of how or where they died. O He Jiva Estanera Mahatmya Apara Shri Chaitanya Nritya Jata Kaila Katabara. O Jiva, the glories of this place are unlimited. Shri Chaitanya danced here many times. Gangadasa Griheyara Sanjaya Alaya Aideka Drishtahaya Sadasukamaya. Here we see the homes of Gangadas Pandit. Here we see the homes of Gangadas Pandit and Sanjaya Das, which are always filled with joy. Of course, these are the associates of Mahaprabhu later on. Ihara Purvete Je Dirgika Sundara Tahara Mahatmya Shuna Ohe Vigyavara. O best of the wise, hear how the glories of the beautiful lake hear now the glories of the beautiful lake to the east. Balala Dirgika Namahaye Chekana Satya Juke Chila Era Kata Vivarana. It has now become known as Balai Dirgika, but it was described in many other ways during the Satya Yuga. So this was known, in other words, as a holy tirtha also in the Satya Yuga. Prituname Maharaja Uchanichastana Katiya Prithvi Jabe Karila Samana Se Kale Estana Samana Karite Mahajyotirmaya Prabha Ute Chaturbite. When Maharaj Prithu was cutting and leveling all the high and low places on the earth, he came to level this place, and an extremely bright light appeared in all directions. So this is a pastime history given in the Srimad Bhagavatam of King Prithu. He was very upset that the earth had withdrawn all of her opulences due to there being no sacrifice. And then, anyway, he was leveling the land so that crops would grow, and the land had become completely covered with only mountains and jungles. So nothing was coming forth from the land. Karmachari Gana Maharajare Janaya Raja Asi Jyoti Punja De Kibare Paya. The workmen informed the king, and Maharaj Prithu came and saw the light. Shaktya Vesha Avatara Prithu Mahashai Janete Janila Stana Nabadvipe Hai. Maharaj Prithu, a Shaktya Vesha avatar, through meditation understood this place to be Nabadvip. Stanera Mahatmya Gupta Raki Bharatare Agyadila Karakunda Stana Manorahare. To keep the glories of this place hidden, he ordered, make a beautiful lake here. So he ordered the workmen, make a lake here, and we won't say anything about it. But the lake will mark this spot. Jai Kunda Karila Taha Prithu Kunda Name Vyata Haila Sarvanaba Dvipe Dame. The lake he made known as Prithu Kunda became famous all over Navadvip Dham. Svacha Jala Panakari Gramavasi Gane Katasuka Paila Taha Kahiba Kemane. How can I describe how much joy the villagers felt when they drank the pure waters of this lake. Parise stane Shri Lakshmana Sena Dira, Dirgika Kanana Kaila Bada Igam Kabira. Later, King Lakshman Sen excavated, deepened, and enlarged the lake. Nija Pitri Lokera Udara Karyasha. Balala Dirgika Nama Karila Prakasha. Desiring to deliver his ancestors, he named the lake Balai Dirgika after his father Balai Sen. Aideka Uchatila Dekite Sundara Lakshmana Shenera Griha Baga Atapara. See there, that beautiful hill. There stood the house of Lakshman Sen. It has since fallen into ruin. Esakala Alankara Mahatirthastane Rajagana Kare Sadapunya Uparjane. Various kings made all these ornaments at this extremely holy place to continuously accrue good fortune. Parete Javana Raja Dushila Estana Ataeva Bhaktagana Nakare Samana. Later, an uncivilized king desecrated this place, and thus devotees do not worship it. Bhumi Matra Supavitra Estanehaya Javana Sangsarga Bhaye Vashana Karaya. The land in this place is pure, but fearing interaction with the uncivilized people, devotees do not reside here. Estane Haila Shri Murtira Apamana Ataeva Bhakta Vrinda Chade Estana. Offenses were made against the deities in this place, and thus the devotees left. Atabali Nityananda Garjite Ailena Simulia Grama Sanihite. Saying this, Nityananda roared. Then he came to Simulia Gram. Simulia Deki Prabhu Jiva Pratikai Eta Samanta Dvipa Janiha Nishchai. Seeing Simulia, Nityananda Prabhu said to Jiva, know for certain that this is Samanta Dvip. Gangarata Kinatire Navadvipe Prante Simanta Namete Dvipa Bale Shavashante. The sadhus call the island on the border of Navadvip and the southern bank of the Ganga Simanta. The island on excuse me. The sadhus call the island on the border of Navadvip and the southern bank of the Ganga Simanta. Kale e Dvipa Ganga Grasi be Shakala Rahi be Kevala Eta Stana Su Nirmala. In time, the Ganga will completely cover this island, and only one pure place will remain. Excuse me. In time, the Ganga will completely cover this island, and only one pure place will remain. Jataya Shimuli Name Parvati Pujana Karibe Bishai Loka Karaha Shravana. Hear now about how materialistic people will worship Parvati in that place, which is known as Simuli. Konakale Satyajuge Deva Maheshwara Shri Gauranga Bali Nritya Karila Vishtara. Once during the Satya Yuga, the god of gods, Lord Shiva, was chanting the name of Shri Gauranga and dancing. So this is during the Satya Yuga, quite a long time ago, before Mahaprabhu appeared. Parvati Jigyase Tebe Deva Maheshware Kebase Gauranga Deva Balaha Amare. Parvati asked him, who is this golden Lord? Please tell me. So Gauranga means someone whose form is beautiful. Golden. Tomara Adbhuta Nrityakari Darashana Shuniya Gauranga Nama Gale Moramana. Seeing your wonderful dancing and hearing the name Gauranga, my heart melts. Etase Sunechi Mantra Tantra Etakala Se Shabajuni Numatra Jivera Jangjala. I've understood that all the mantras and tantra I have heard about for so long are simply misery for the soul. This is what Parvati is saying. All these materialistic mantras and the tantra, the mundane tantra, it is only misery for the souls. And yet you are chanting this and dancing so happily. And it is really melting my heart. Ateva Bala Prabhu Gauranga Sandana Pujyata Hare Ami Paiba Parana. So please tell me about Lord Gauranga. Serving him, I will attain new life. Parvatira Katashuni Deva Pashupati Shri Gauranga Smari Kahe Parvatira Prati. Hearing Parvati's words and remembering Shri Gauranga, Lord Shiva spoke to Parvati. Adya Shakti Tumihao Shri Radhara Angsa Tomare Baliba Tattva Ganna Avatangsha. You are the primordial energy and an expansion of Sri Radha. I will tell you the crown jewel of truths. And Srila Guru Maharaj also, he was speaking about this, that the reflection of the divine plenipotency of Srimati Radharani herself. This is Parvati, and actually, this is a very deep Siddhantic truth. That it is only in our misunderstanding that we are seeing matter and what is material. We have to change our angle of vision entirely and understand what is really true. You are the primordial energy and an expansion of Sri Radha. I will tell you the crown jewel of truths. Radha Bhava Laye Krishna La Kali Te Bara Mayapure Shachi Garbe Habe Avatara. This time during the Kali Yuga, Krishna will take the heart of Radha and appear in Mayapur in the womb of Shachi Devi. He will accept the heart of Radha. Kirtana Rangete Mati Prabhu Gauramani Vitari be Prema Ratna Patra Nahigani. Maddened by his pastimes of Kirtan, Lord Gauramani will distribute the jewel of divine love without judging its recipients. This is an extraordinary thing. Because in Vedic culture is very organized. And in order to receive anything, in order to come from one platform to another, or to become more fortunate, or to achieve any end, one has to qualify himself. But Mahaprabhu is offering the highest crest jewel of all benedictions, and not even asking anyone to qualify themselves. He's offering it. Of course, we have to be, we have to purify our hearts through Sankirtan and surrender in order to even be able to receive it, to qualify our hearts to know how to accept this gift. But other than that, it's nothing. And he's giving us the process by which we can by which we can accept. In other words, as Bhaktivinoda Thakur said, by chanting the holy name of Krishna, one becomes qualified to chant the holy name of Krishna. This time during the Kali Yuga, Krishna will take the heart of Radharani, in other words, accept that mood, and appear in Mayapur in the womb of Shachi Devi. Maddened by his pastimes of kirtan, Lord Gauramani will distribute the jewel of divine love without judging its recipients. E prema vinya jale jai jivana base diktara bhagye devi jivana bilase. O God, shame on the life, enjoyment, and fortune of the souls who do not float on the waters of this flood of divine love. In other words, who are not swimming on that ocean. Prabhura pratigya smari preme jai base darayana dare mana chadila makasi. Remembering the promise of the Lord, I float in that divine love. My heart has lost its composure, and thus I have left Kashi. I don't want to be this great Shiva. I want to go crazy in love for Mahaprabhu. Mayapura antarbage janavira tire Gauranga pajiba amirahiya kutire. I will stay in a hut on the bank of the Ganga in Mayapur and worship Gauranga. I'll stay in a hut somewhere. I don't care about being worshipped by all my worshipers and the great, I just want to be a humble worshiper of Mahaprabhu. Durjatira Vakyashuni Parvati Sundari Ailena Simanta Dvipe Ailena Simanta Dvipete Tvarakari. Hearing Shiva's words, beautiful Parvati quickly came to Simanta Dvip. Shri Gauranga Rupa Sadakare Nachintana Gaurabali Preme Base Stira Nahemana. She constantly meditated on the form of Shri Gauranga. Chanting Gaura's name, she floated in divine love, and her heart became unsteady. Katadini Gaura Chandra Kripa Vitariya Parvatire Dekadila Shangane Asiya. Eventually, Gaurachandra bestowed his mercy. He came with his associates and appeared to Parvati. And we were singing that kirtan last night about Lord Shiva just losing he didn't care whether he had clothes on or not. He's chanting and saying, seeing all of this peaceful composure, became afraid and went knocking on people's doors. So her heart became the great Parvati, she is the mistress of the mundane universe. And her heart became unsteady from divine feelings. Sutapta kanchana varna dirga kalivara mataye chanchara kesha sarvanga sundara. His long form was the color of molten gold, and his limbs and the wavy hair on his head appeared very beautiful. Trikacha kariya vasratara paridana gale dole pulamala apurva vidana. He wore a dhoti tucked in 3 places, and a wonderful flower garland swung on his neck. Preme gada gada vakya kahe gaurarai balago parvati kena aile hetai. Stammering in divine love, Gaurarai said, "O Parvati, why have you come here?" Jagatera Prabhupade Padiya Parvati Janaya apana dukkha stira nahemati. Parvati bowed at the feet of the Lord of the universe, and with an unsteady mind explained her sadness. O hey Prabhu Jagannatha Jagata Jivan, Shakalera Doyamoy, Mora Vidamban. O Master, O Lord and life of the universe, you are merciful to everyone but cruel to me. Tavibahir Mukha Jive Bandana Karana, Niyukta Kariya More Patita Pavana. O Savior of the fallen, you have engaged me in imprisoning souls who are averse to you, Bahir Mukha. They turn their face away from you. And you've engaged me in imprisoning them. Amitaki se kaje samsara patiya, tomara ananta preme vanchita na haila. Haya. I perform this duty and manage the material world, but I am deprived of your infinite divine love. Loke bale jata Krishna maya nahitata, amitabe bahir mukha hainu sarvata. People say that Maya is absent wherever Krishna is present. Thus I have become completely estranged from you. Kamane de kiba prabhu tomara bilas, tumina karile patahainu niras. O Lord, how will I see your pastimes? If you do not make a way for me, I will be hopeless. Atabali Sri Parvati Gora Padaduli Simante na Laila Shatikariya Akuli. Saying this, chaste Parvati Devi desperately rubbed Gaura's foot dust into the parting of her hair, which is called Simanta. Sehahite Sri Simante Dvipana Mahaila Shimulia Bali Agya Janete Kahila. Since then, this place has been known as Simanta Dweep, though the ignorant call it Shimulia. Shri Gauranga Chandra Tabe Prasana Haya Balila Parvati Shunakata Manadiya. Moon like Shri Gauranga was pleased and said, O Parvati, listen to my words attentively. Tumi Mora Bina Nao Shakti Sarveshwari Akashakti Dui Rupa Mama Sahachari. You are not separate from me. You are my energy and the goddess of all. My consort, my singular energy, has two forms. Swarupa Shakti Te Tumi Radhika Amar, Bahiranga Rupe Radha Tomate Bistar. As my personal energy, you are Radhika, and as my external energy, Radha, expands as you. Tumi naile mora lila siddha nahi hai. Tumi yoga maya rupe lila te nishoy. Without you, my pastimes are not complete. As yoga maya, you are certainly involved in my pastimes. Braje tumi purnamasi rupe nityakala. Navadvipe prodamaya shahakshetrapala. In Braja, you are eternally present as Purnamasi. And in Navadvip, you are present as Prodamaya with Lord Shiva, the guardian of the Dham, the Purnamasi. she is like the grandmother. I think she's the grandmother of Madhumangal, who is the son of Sandipani Muni. Atabali Sri Gauranga Haila Adarshana Prema Vista Haye Rahe Parvati Ramana. Saying that Sri Gauranga disappeared and Parvati's heart became overwhelmed with divine love. Simantini Devi Rupe Rahe Akabite Prodamaya Mayapure Rahe Gaura Prite. Out of love for Sri Gauranga, Parvati remains here as the goddess of Simanta Dweep and in Mayapur as Prodamaya. And there she guards the Dham. This is a very astonishing thing. Atapali Nityananda Kachira Nagare Praveshila Jive Laye Takana Satvare. Saying this, Nityananda quickly entered Kaji Nagar with Jiva. Prabhu Bale Ohe Jiva Shunahava Chana Kajira Nagara E Mathura Bhuvana. Nityananda Prabhu said, "Oh Jiva, listen to my words. Kaji Nagar is Mathura." Hata Shri Gauranga Rai Kirtana Kariya Kaji Nishtarila Prabhu Prema Ratnadila. Here Shri Gauranga performed kirtan, delivered the Kaji, and gave him the jewel of divine love. Shri Krishna Lilaya Jai Kamsa Mathuraya Gauranga Lilaya Chanda Kaji Namapaya. He who was Kamsa during Krishna's pastimes in Mathura became known as Chankaji during Gauranga's pastimes. E Janya Prabhu Tare Matula Balila Baye Kaji Goda Pade Sharana Laila. The Lord thus called the Kaji his uncle. Out of fear, the Kaji took shelter at Gauranga's feet. He called him uncle because he was a classmate of Mahaprabhu's grandfather or something like that. But he is in Krishna Lila. Kamsa is the uncle of Krishna. Kirtana Arambe Kaji Mridanga Bangila Hosena Sahara Bale Utpata Karila. When Gauranga began performing kirtan, the Kaji broke a mridanga and made a disturbance on the order of Nawab Hussain Shah. Nawab. Hosena sa Sejara Sandagoda Rajeswara Tahara Atmiya Kaji Pratapabhistara. Hussain Shah, the emperor of Goda at that time, was previously Jarasandha. He influenced the Kaji, who was his relative. Jarasandha was a relative of Kamsa. I think he was his son-in-law. Prabhutare Nushinga Rupete De Abaya Baye Kamsa Samakaji Jada Sadahaya. In the form of Nushinga, the Lord frightened the Kaji. And like Kamsa, the Kaji cringed in fear. Tare prema diya kaila Vaishnava pradana Kajira nishtara kata shune bhagyavana. The Lord then gave him divine love and made him a great devotee. Those who hear of the Kaji's deliverance are fortunate. Vrata tattva navadvipe tattva deka beda Krishna aparadi labe nirvana abeda. Heta aparadi pai prema ratna dana. Ataeva gora lila sarvo parihana. See the difference between Braja and Navadvip. In Braja, those who offered Krishna, who offend Krishna, attain static liberation. But in Navadvip, offenders attain the jewel of divine love. That is a very big difference. Thus, the pastimes of Gaura are supreme. Gaura Dhamma, Gaura Nama, Gaura Rupa Guna, Aparada Nahi Mane Tarite Nipuna. Gaura's abode, name, form, and qualities do not consider offenses and are adept at delivering souls. Gaura's abode, name, form, and qualities do not consider offenses and are adept at delivering souls. Very good at it. Jadi aparadata ke sadakere mane Krishna name Krishna Dame Tare Bahudine. If offenses are present in the mind of a practitioner, Krishna's name and abode deliver them after a long time. Gora Name Gora Dame Sajya Prema Hai Aparada Nahitara Bada Upajai. Gaura's name and abode, however, immediately give souls divine love. Offenses do not obstruct them. Aideka ohe jiva kajira samadhi. Dekila jivera nasha haya adi vyadi. O jiva, see there the samadhi of the Kaji. Seeing it dispels sickness and sorrow. It is really wonderful. Navadvip Dham Parikrama, coming to the Kazi's Samadhi Mandir and hearing this pastime and how the Kazi became like really a great devotee of the Lord. And it's so heart-melting to remember that. Atabali Nityananda Preme Gara Gara Chalilena Drita Shanka Vanika Nagara. Saying this, Nityananda, smoldering with divine love, quickly went to Shanka Vanik Nagar. Tatagiya Sri Jivere Bale Navachana Oideka Sharadanga Apurva Darashana. Arriving there, he said to Sri Jiva, see the wonderful sight of Sharadanga. Sri Sharadanga Nama Ati Manohara Jagannatha Vaishe Chatta Laya Shabara. The name Sharadanga is also very beautiful. Jagannath resides here with the Shabaras. Purve Jabe Ratabahu Duratmya Karila Daita Sahita Prabhu Hetayaila. Previously, when a demon, Raktabahu, was on a rampage, the Lord came here with the Shabaras. But the Shabaras are jungle people, really jungle people. They didn't have any regular practice. Guru Maharaj is talking about, they didn't have any regular practices or this or that or any like Brahminical practices or anything. But they love Lord Jagannath, and they brought Lord Jagannath here to avoid this demon. Shri Purushottama Sama Eida Mahai Nitya Jagannath Stiti Tataya Nishchai. This place is none different from Shri Purushottam Kshetra. Jagannath certainly resides here eternally. Tabe tantu vaya grama hailena para dekilena kola vecha sridhara agara. Too much wonderful. They then passed through Tantuvayagram and saw the cottage of Kola Vecha Sridhar. Prabhu Bale Estane Shri Gauranga Hari Kirtana Bishrama Kaila Bhakti Kripakari. Nityananda Prabhu said here, Sri Gauranga chanted, rested, and blessed the devotees. Ehetu Bishrama Stana Era. Ehetu Bishrama Stana Era Nama. Heta Sridharera Gare Karaha Bishrama. This place thus became known as Bishram Stan. You may rest here in Sridhar's cottage. Sridhara Shunila Jabe Prabhu Agamana Shastange Ashiya Kare Prabhura Pujana. When Sridhar heard of Nityananda Prabhu's arrival, he came, prostrated himself, and worshipped the Lord. Bale Prabhupada Daya Eda Sera Prati Bishramakara Heta Amara Minati. He said, O Lord, be most merciful to this servant and rest here. This is my request. Prabhu Bale Tume Hao Ati Bhagyavan Tomare Karila Kripa Gaura Bhagavan. Nityananda Prabhu replied, "You are very fortunate. Lord Gauranga has bestowed his mercy upon you." Nityananda Prabhu saying this to Kolavecha Sridhar. Ajamora Estani Karibabi Shrama Shunya Sridhara Tabehaya Aptakama. Today we will rest here. Hearing this, Sridhar was satisfied. Bahu Jatne Seva Jogya Samagiri Laya Randana Karaya Bhakta Brahmanera Diya. With great care, Sridhar collected suitable ingredients and engaged a Vaishnav Brahmin to cook. Nitai Srivasa Seva Haila Samapana Anande Prasade Paya Sri Jivatakana. Once Nitai and Srivas had been served, Sri Jiva joyfully took their prasad. Nityanande Kato Pari Karaya Sayana Savang She Sridhara Kare Pada Samvahana. Sridhar laid Nityananda on a bed, and then he and his family massaged the Lord's feet. This is Kolavecha Sridhar. Gave Nityananda Prabhu a beautiful bed to lie on and massaged his holy lotus feet. Aparane Shri Jivere Laya Srivasa Shasta Tirtha Dekaila Haya Ulasa. In the afternoon, Srivas took Sri Jiva and joyfully showed him Shasti Tirtha. Srivasa Kahila Shuna Jiva Sada Ashaya Puri Deva Gana Jabe Shunila Nishchaya Navadvipe Habe Mahaprabhu Avatar Vishvakarma Ailena Nadia Nagar. Shiva said, "Listen, O pure-hearted Jiva. Previously, when the gods heard that Mahaprabhu would descend in Navadvip, Vishvakarma came to Nadia." So again, Vishvakarma, he is the architect of the heavenly planets and all of the wonderful manifestations there. And they knew that Mahaprabhu was coming, so they engaged Vishwakarma to come to Nadia. Prabhu Jai Pati Karibena Sankirtana Se Pate Jalakashta Karite Varana Akaratre Shatakunda Katila Bishai Sheshakunda Kajakrame Karila Katai. To prevent a scarcity of water along the paths where the Lord would perform Sankirtan, Vishwakarma dug 60 large ponds in one night, the last of which he made in the village of the Kazi. Shridarera Kalabaga Dekite Sundara Iharanikata Eka Deka Sharovara. Sridhar's banana grove is beautiful to see. See also the lake nearby. E Sarovare Kabukari Jalakela Mahaprabhu Lailena Sridharera Kola. Mahaprabhu sometimes played in the water there and took Sridhar's bananas. Adyavadi Mocha Toda Laila Sridhara Shisha Chimatake Dea Ulasa Antara. Still today, Sridhar collects banana flowers and stems and gives them to Mother Shachi with joy in his heart. Ihiranikate Maya Maris Namastana Dekahashi Jiva Acho Ache Vijamana. Near here is a place called Mayamari. O Jiva, see that it still exists there today. So as at this time, of course, Mahaprabhu is residing in Puri, and Nityananda Prabhu is showing Navadvip Dham to Sri Jiva Goswami. And he's saying, even now, Kolavecha Sridhar, he's picking the bananas and the flowers and giving them to Shachi to cook for Mahaprabhu and her divine heart, offering them to Mahaprabhu. And of course, Mahaprabhu is taking that prasadam, taking that bhog actually. Puranika kata akash kahara karaha shravana. Tirtha Jatra Baladeva Karila Jakana Navadvipe Ashik Kabe Karila Bishrama Vipragana Janaila Maya Suranama. Please hear a story from the Puranas. Once when Baladev was on a pilgrimage, he came to Navadvipa and rested. At that time, some Brahmins told him about a demon named Maya. Maya Sura Upadrava Shuni Haladara Mahavege Dare Tare Matera Bitara. Hearing of the havoc raised by Mayasura, Baladev furiously confronted him in a field. Maya Yuddha Kaila Daita Baladeva Sata Avasheshe Rama Tare Karila Nipata. The demon fought with Baladev ferociously, and finally Baladev killed him. Baladev likes a good opponent who's going to fight ferociously. Seyavari Maya Marina Makyata Kahaila Bahukala Kata Aja Tomare Kahila. Since then, this place has been known as Maya Mari. Today, I have told you a very old story. Maya Mari means the place where Maya died. I think. Talavana nama tirtha brajapure sada bhagyavan jana nayane spure. This place is also known as Talavan in Braja and always appears before the eyes of the fortunate souls. Se ratre se stane takilena shabe paradina jatrakare hari hari rabe. That night they stayed there, and the next day they continued on chanting Hari Hari. Nitai Janavapada Chaya Jara Asa Nadia Mahatmya Kare Edasha Prakasha. This servant, whose aspiration is the shade of Nitai and Janava's feet, reveals the glories of Nadia. All right, so now is chapter 7. They are Nityananda Prabhu, Sri Jiva, and Vangshi Vadananda. They're all going along. And they are coming to Suvarna Bihar and Sri Devapali. Oh, and Sri Srivas Jai Jai Sri Chaitanya Chandra Jaya Jai Sri Chaitanya Chandra Jai Prabhu Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Jaya Gadadhar Jaya Srivasadi Bhakta Gaura Pade Anurakta Jaya Navadvipa Damavar. All glories to the moon like Sri Chaitanya, Nityananda Prabhu, Advaita Acharya, Gadadhar Pandit, Srivas Pandit, and all the devotees attached to the feet of the Lord, and the best of abodes, Sri Navadvip. Chadi Abhishramastana Sri Jevalaya Jana, Jahagrama Suvarna Bihar, O He Jiva Prabhu Kai, Apurva Estana Hai, Navadvipa Pakriti Rapara. Leaving Bishram Stan with Sri Jiva, the party proceeded to the village known as Suvarna Bihar. There Nityananda Prabhu said, O Jiva, this is a wonderful place. Like all of Navadvip, it is beyond material nature. Satya Juge Estane Chila Raja Sabe Jane Sri Suvarna Sena Taranam Bahukala Raja Kaila Parete Vardakya Haila Tabunahe Karyete Pishram. Here in Satya Yuga there was a king known by all as Sri Suvarna Sen. He ruled for a long time. Eventually he grew old, but he did not retire from his duties. Bishaya Vishta Chitta Kishe Vriddhaya Vita Echintakare naravara. Ki jane ki bhagye vashe. Shri Narada Tata Aishe. Rajatare Pujila Bishtar. His mind absorbed in mundane affairs, the king thought only of how to accumulate more wealth. As a result of some unknown fortune, Sri Narada came there, and the king worshipped him elaborately. So some wonderful fortune from some sukriti from his past, either agyata sukriti or gyata sukriti, but somehow or other, he got the connection of Sri Narada. Naradela daya haila tatva upadesha kaila rajare talaya nirjane Narada kahena rai vrita tava dina jai arta chinta kari mane mane. Nard blessed the king. He then met with him privately and instructed him in the absolute truth. Narada said, O king, your days pass in vain, as you think only of wealth within your mind. Antake anarta jana, paramarta divya jnana, hridaye vaha akabara, daraputra bandhu jana, keha nahe nija jana, maranete keha nahikar. Understand that material wealth is meaningless and that divine knowledge is true wealth. Once consider within your heart that your wife, sons, and friends do not belong to you. After death, no one belongs to anyone. Tomara marana hale dehati bashaye chale shabe jabe grihe apanara tabe kena mitya ash bishaya jala pipash chadike hanahi kai lakara. When you die, everyone will set your body afloat down a river and then go back to their houses. So why all this false hope? A very good vision, a very good understanding. They will set your body on a raft and send it down they'll set your body afloat down the river. And then they're going to go home and carry on with their lives. It's not that they're going to sit there and weep for the rest of their lives. They're going to go home. That is very... So why this false hope? Why this thirst for the water of sense objects when no one actually belongs to anyone? Charibala labishuka jivanena paiduka ataeva arti chestakari seha mitya katarai jivana anitya hai nahi rahe shatava shopari. You may say, I enjoy life, I do not suffer, therefore I endeavor for wealth. O king, such words are false. Life is temporary and does not last more than 100 years. Ateva janasar, jete habe mayapar, jatashuke duka nahi hai, kisheva sadipa pala, seta apurva pala, jahe nahi shoka duka pai. So understand this essence. We must cross over Maya to the land where happiness does not produce sadness. You put in a seed of happiness, the happiness grows, but the bloom is sadness. Ebe na bajule jashoda sutta, chara me podi belaje. Only great heartbreak and sadness awaits you at the time of death if you do not worship the darling of Mother Yashoda, Mother Shachi. Ataeva janasha jete Habe maya bar jata shuke dukha nahi hai. Kisheva sadiva bala se purva pala. Jahe nahi shoka dukha pai. So bye. So understand the essence. We must cross over Maya to the land where happiness does not produce sadness. Tell me, how will we reach that wonderful land where there is no lamentation, sadness, or fear? Kevala vairagya kari tahana paite pari. Kevala gyanete tahanai. Vairagya janera bale, Bishaya bandana gale, Jivera kaivalya hayabai. We cannot attain it by mere renunciation or knowledge. Brother, through renunciation and knowledge, material bondage falls away and souls enter oneness. That's the only thing that happens as a result of that. That does not bring us to the land of happiness. The land of happiness means the land of sacrifice, of giving, of incessant and mad service. Kaivalye anandanai savanasha balitai kaivalyera nitantadikara edike bishaya gela shrestha kichuna milila kaivalyera karaha vichar. There's no joy in oneness. We consider oneness total ruination, catastrophe. Oneness is utterly condemned. Understand oneness. By it, material things disappear, but nothing superior is attained. Just, Guru Maharaj calls it the abscissa. Not here, not there, not up, not down, not this, not that. Ataeva Gyani Jana Bhukti Mukhi Nahilana Krishna Bhakti Karena Sadhana Vishayete Anashakti Krishna Pade Anurakti Sambandha Bideya Prayojan. Thus the wise do not accept enjoyment or liberation. They practice devotion to Krishna. To be detached from mundanity and attached to Krishna is the relationship, the process, and the goal. The relationship meaning sambandha gyan, the process abhideya, and the goal prayojan. Jiva se Krishna das bhakti bina sarvanash bhakti vrikshe pali prema pala se pala prayojana Krishna prema nityadana bhukti mukti tucha se shakala. The soul is a servant of Krishna, and without devotion the soul is utterly ruined. The fruit of divine love for Krishna grows on the tree of devotion. The fruit of divine love for Krishna grows on the tree of devotion. That fruit, the eternal wealth of the soul, is the goal. Enjoyment and liberation are both insignificant. This is a very, very deep and important thing, because sometimes we as young devotees may be misled into thinking that we are supposed to leave this material world, meaning going to some other, just leave all this behind. Go somewhere else. No, devotion is the goal. It doesn't matter where you are. Devotion is the fruit. And also, we can think, oh, there I'll be happy. I'll have happiness. But devotion is that happiness. Devotion is the fruit of the practice of devotion. And it is devotion that the devotees are hankering for. Even those pure devotees are feeling separation. I don't have devotion. I need devotion. It is so sweet and wondrous. So we have to, these are layers over our consciousness that can distract us from this truth. It is not that we're trying to get out of the material world. The material world means not devotion. It means not seeing the hand of the Lord everywhere and begging that under all circumstances we will have devotion for him and render service to his will. It doesn't matter where. Goloka is not like some geographical place. It is the revelation of reality in the highest way, and that is devotion in the highest plane. So we must understand this point very carefully and not be distracted by bhukti and mukti and gyan. All these things are coverings over our consciousness, and the practice of chanting without offense and in the mood of surrender and rendering service. This is all to remove those different layers over the self and over our understanding also of what devotional service is. Krishna Chidananda Ravi Maya Tara Chaya Chabi Jivatara Karai Kirananugana Tatastata Merabashe Jiva Jadi Maya Sparshe Maya Tari Karaye Bandana. Krishna is the joyful spiritual sun. Maya is his shadow, and the souls are his atomic rays. If souls governed by their marginal nature touch Maya, then Maya binds them. Governed by their marginal nature means their free will. Krishna Bahir Mukaje, Maya Sparshi Jivase, Maya Sparshe Karma Shangapai. Maya Jale Brahmumare, Brahmimare, Karma Gyane Nahitare, Kastanasha Mantana Karai. The souls that turn away from Krishna touch Maya and thus become bound in karma. They wander and die in Maya's prison. Neither action nor knowledge can help them. Karma and Gyan cannot actually help them. And Maya causes them to invite in their own suffering and ruin. We're the only ones doing anything. We can't blame anyone else. Whatever comes to us has come from our own misdirected actions in the past. So we don't have to blame, set the blame. This blaming is another trick of Maya. So I don't have to look and take responsibility for my own suffering. But this suffering, is, in the ultimate sense, is coming by Krishna's hand. If we look deeper, then we will see it as a blessing. If we will see that, then that truth will be revealed to us. That is Krishna consciousness. Maya means illusion. It means Krishna's not there. He has nothing to do with this. That is wrong. So when we realize that Krishna is really behind everything, he's the cause of all causes, then we can understand how to practice Krishna consciousness. It's called Sharanagati, and it must be done. Otherwise, Guru Maharaj said that all of our practices are bogus. They will not come to anything. Very revolutionary. I mean, I'm saying the practice of Sharanagati is incredibly revolutionary. Guru Maharaj says it's the shortcut. If you don't practice Sharanagati, you can do all of these practices of, what we call devotional practices for millions of lifetimes. They're not connecting. Connection has to be with the heart toward the Lord in the mood of surrender. There is no other mood of being with the Lord. Kabu karma acharaya astangadi yogamaya kabu brahma gyana alochana kabu kabu tarka kare avasheshe nahitare nahi mane atma tatvadana. Souls sometimes perform action, sometimes practice Astanga yoga, sometimes discuss the theory of Brahma, and sometimes argue. Ultimately, none of these things help them, however, and they fail to appreciate the wealth of the self. Brahmite brahmite jabe bhakta jana shangahabe tabe shraddha labite nirmala. Sadhu sange Krishna bhaji hridaya anartha tyaji nishta labhakare suvimala. After wandering and wandering in this way, when souls attain the association of devotees, they develop pure faith. By serving Krishna in the association of sadhus, souls free their hearts from impediments and attain pure constancy. Bhajite bhajite tabe se nishtaruchi habe krame ruchi haibe ashakti ashakti haite bhava tahe habe prema laba ekrame haya shuddha bhakti. Then as they continue to serve, their constancy develops into attraction and gradually attachment to Krishna. From attachment, feeling develops, and thereafter, divine love. Pure devotion awakens in these stages. Then, as they continue to serve, their constancy develops into attraction and gradually attachment to Krishna. From attachment, feeling develops, and thereafter, divine love. Pure devotion awakens in these stages. Shravan Kirtanamati, Seva Krishna Chananati, Dasa Sakya Atmani Vedana, Navada Sadhana E Bhakta Shange Karye, E Labe Krishna Premadana. Hearing, chanting, remembering, serving, worshiping Krishna, bowing, following, befriending and surrendering. Souls who engage in these 9 practices in the association of devotees attain the wealth of divine love for Krishna. So let's just see now how long this is quite a long chapter, I believe. Oh, that's so long. Tumi Raja Bhagyavan Nabadvipe Tavastan Dhammavashe Tava Bhagyodaya Sadhu Sange Shradapeye Krishna Nama Guna Geye Prema Surya Karao Udai. O King, you are fortunate. You reside in Nabadvip, and your fortune has arisen by residing in the Dham. So in the association of sadhus, develop faith. Chant Krishna's name and glories, and thus cause the sun of divine love to rise. Danyakali agamane heta Krishna laye gane Shri Gauranga lila prakashibe Jai Gaura namalabe tate Krishna kripa habe Braje basa seita karibe. The coming of Kali Yuga is glorious. Krishna will manifest his pastimes as Sri Gauranga and his associates here, and those who chant the name of Gaura will receive the mercy of Krishna and reside in Braja. Gaura nama nalaiya, Jai Krishna bhaje giya, say Krishna bahu kale pai. Gaura namalaya jai, saja Krishna paya se, aparada nahi rahetai. Those who serve Krishna but do not chant the name of Gaura attain Krishna after a long time. But those who chant the name of Gaura immediately attain Krishna. Offenses do not remain in them. Balite balite muni adaryahaya amani nachite lagila Gaura bali Gaura Hari Bola Dari, Bina Bale Gaura Hari, Kabi Se Asi Bedanya Kali. As he spoke, Narada Muni suddenly became overwhelmed. He began to dance, chant Gaura Hari, and as he did so, his Bina also chanted Gaura Hari. He mused, when will the glorious age of Kali arrive? E Shababalitai Narada Chalia Halyai Premodaya Haila Rajara Goranga Balia Nache Sharu Haite Prema Jache Bishaya Bashana Guche Tara. Having spoken to the king, Nard left, and the king's divine love arose. Chanting Gauranga, the king danced and begged for divine love from the sadhus. His material desires disappeared. Nidra Kali Naravara Deki Gaura Gadadhara Sapashade Tahara Angane Nache Hare Krishna Bale Kare Shabe Kola Kuli Suvarna Pratima Gaura Sane. While asleep, the king had a vision of Gaura and Gadadhar with their associates in his courtyard. Everyone was dancing, chanting Hare Krishna, and embracing in the company of the Golden Lord Gaura. Nidrabangi Narapati Katara Haila Ati Gaura Lagi Karaya Krandana Daivavani Hailataya Prakata Samayiraya Habetumi Pasade Ganana. When he awoke, the king became deeply dismayed and cried for Gaura. Then he heard a divine voice, O king, when the Lord appears, you will be one of his associates. Buddhimantakana nama paibehe gunagadama sevipe Gauranga Shri Charana Daivavani Kane Shuni Stira Haila Naramani Kare Tabe Gauranga Bhajana. O virtuous king, you will be made named Buddhimantakan, and you will serve the holy feet of Gauranga. Hearing this divine voice, the king became steady and then worshipped Gauranga. Nityananda Katasheshe Naradera Shaktyaveshe Srivasa Haila Achetana Mahaprema Vesha Gaura Namamrita Shabe Bumilote Sri Jiva Takana. When Nityananda finished speaking, Srivas became immersed in the mood of Narada and fainted. So Srivas Thakur is Narada Muni. So hearing this pastime, he became immersed in that pastime as he is Narada. Sri Jiva rolled on the ground, immersed in intense divine love and intoxicating nectar of Gaura's name. Akaki Gaurangarai Dekiba Ami Hetai Suvarna Putali Gauramani Balite Tabe Shri Gaura Kirtana Shabe Nayanete Dekaye Amani. O Gaurangarai Gauramani, will I see your golden form here? As Jiva spoke, everyone suddenly saw Shri Gaura's Kirtan with their own eyes. Ahase Amiya Jini Gaurangera Rupakani Nachite Lagila Sehikane Tabe Nityanandarai Gaurangera Gunagai Advaita Sahita Sarvajane. Oh, the form of Gauranga, which surpasses nectar, began to dance there, and Nityananda Rai chanted the glories of Gauranga with Advaita and all the devotees. Mridanga Mandira Bhaje Sankirtana Suviraje Purvalila Haila Vistar Kata Jayananda Hai Varnite Shakatinai Bela Hai Ila Dvitiya Prahara. Mridangas and cymbals resonated and Sankirtan resounded, and the previous pastimes of the Lord manifested. I do not have the power to describe the joy that arose and remained there until midday. Tabeta Chalila Shabe Gora Gita Kalarave Devapali Gramera Bitara Tataya Bishrama Kaila Devera Atiti Haila Majjana Bojana Atapara. Eventually the party continued on, loudly singing songs about Gauranga. They rested in the village of Devapali as guests of the village deity, and then ate at midday. Divasera Shesha Jame Shakale Brahmaya Grame Prabhu Nityananda Tabekai Devapali Ehai Shri Nishinga Devalai Satya Yuga Haite Parichai. In the evening, they toured the village, and then Nityananda Prabhu said, "This is Devapali. This temple of Sri Nishinga was established in the Satya Yuga. Praladera Dayakari Hiranyaba Diya Hari Estane Karila Bishram Brahma Adi Devagani Jani Janiketan Kari Eka Bashaila Gram." After blessing Prahlad and killing Hiranyakashipu, the Lord rested here. Brahma and all the other gods made their own homes here and established a village. Mandakini tatadari tilaya bashatikari Nishinga sevaya hailarata Shri Nishinga chetranam navadvipe paramapavana shastramata. They resided on these hills beside the bank of the Mandakini and worshipped Nishinga. The scriptures state that this abode in Navadvip, known as Nishinga Chetra, is very purifying. There used to be hills, and on top of these hills, there all the devas had made their residences. Now there's something like hills, but there's mostly is not visible to the fleshy eye. But Nishinga Dev's temple is still there. Hare Krishna. Suryatila Brahmatila Nishinga Purave Chilla Ebestani Haila Viparyai Kane Shera Tila Hera Indra Talap Tilap Karapara Erupa Bahu Tilamai. Surya's Hill and Brahma's Hill were to the east of Nishinga. Now this place has since changed. Sri Ganesha's Hill and Indra's Hill. See Ganesha's Hill and Indra's Hill behind. This place was filled with many hills like these. Vishwakarma Mahashai Nirmila Prastadamai Kata Shata Deviravasati Kale Shabalopahaila Mandakini Shukaila Tilamatra Achaye Samprati. The renowned Vishwakarma constructed hundreds of stone homes for the gods. In time they decayed and the Mandakini dried up. Only hills remain. Shilakanda Aganana Kara Ebe Darashana Seishaba Mandi Reshesha Punakichudina Pare Akabakta Naravare Pabe Nrishinghera Kripalesha. See here the countless broken stones. These are the ruins of the homes of the gods. Again in the future, a devotee king will receive a drop of mercy from Nishinga. Brihat Mandira Kari Bashai Ben Narahari Puna Seva Kari Be Prakash Navadvipa Parikrama Tara Ayakashima Shola Krosha Majje Evas. He will build a grand temple, establish Nishinga there, and resume his worship. This place is within the 32 miles of Navadvip and is one of the boundaries of the route to circumambulate Navadvip Dham. Nitai Janavapada Jay Janara Sampada Sebak Dibinoda Kangala Navadvipa Samahima Nahitara Kabusima Tahagaya Chadimaya Jala. The humble Bhakti Vinod, whose wealth is the feet of Nitai and Janava, chants the unending glories of Navadvip and thus leaves behind the net of Maya. That's the end of chapter 7. And tomorrow, chapter 8, Sri Harihara Kshetra, an unforgettable place. And we always take prasadam at Harihara Kshetra. And the forest around there, we get to sit there. Sri Varanasi and Sri Godruma. Haribol. Jai Sri Navadvip Dham Mahatmya Ki Jai. Sri Navadvip Baba Taranga Ki Jai. Jai Shuddha Satchidananda Bhaktivinoda Thakur Ki Jai. We will always go everywhere within the influence of the heart of the Vaishnava. There is no other way to go to the holy places except through that influence. There is no other way. So now we are, by the influence of the heart of Bhaktivinoda Thakur, we are visiting all these places in a painful way, in a feeling of separation. But it is also too wonderful. Hari Hare Nama Krishna Yadavaya Nama Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Nama Gopal Govinda Ram Srimadi Sudan Giridhari Gopinath Madanamo Shri Chaitanya Nityananda Shri Advaita Chandra Karada Shiva Sari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Jai Rupa Sanatan Bhatta Raghunath Shri Jiva Gopala Bhatta Das Raghunath Hey Chai Gosai Kori Charana Vanda Jai Vignana Shavistapura Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Rama, Rama Rama, Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Hey Nitai Gaur Haribo, 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 Haribo Nitai Gaur Haribo, 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 Haribo Jai Saparika Shishi Guru Gaur Chandra Ju Ki Jai Jai Shri Giriraj Govardhan Ju Ki Jai Jayam Vishnupad Paramhansa Pari Vrajakacharya Astuterzita Shri Shiman Srila Bhakti Sundar Govindadev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai Jayam Vishnupad Paramhansa Pari Vrajakacharya Astuterzita Shri Shiman Srila Bhakti Rakak Shri Radhe Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai Jai Vishnupad Paramahansa Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai Shri Rupanuga Guru Varga Ki Jai Shri Chaitanya Saraswati Madhacharya Vrinda Ki Jai Jai Sad Goswami Prabhu Ki Jai Saparshad Sriman Mahaprabhu Ki Jai Saparshad Shri Nityananda Prabhu Ki Jai Jai Shri Navadvitam Parikrama Ki Jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Syama Kund Radha Kund Giri Govardhan Ki Jai. Jai Shri Chaitanya Saraswat Mat Ki Jai. Tadi Shakama Ki Jai. Shri Chaitanya Saraswat Mission Ki Jai. Kol Kartal Ki Jai. Harinam Sankirtan Ki Jai. Samaveda Vaishnava Mandala Ki Jai. Samaveda Bhaktivinoda Ki Jai. Nitai Gaur Premanandi Hari Hari Bol. Jai. Dandavad, Dandavad, Dandavad.